Lecture 36, Complex Impedance of Resistance, Inductance and Capacitance. So in an AC circuit, sinusoidal signals are represented using phasors, which can further be solved using complex numbers, which simplifies the AC analysis. So the goal of this lecture is to define impedance, derive impedance formulas for resistor, inductor and capacitor, and finally apply Phasor's Ohm's law. So what is an impedance? Impedance is simply the total opposition to an AC current, and the formula for impedance is simply V divided by I, where V and I are voltage phasor and current phasor, and Z is the impedance in ohms. So impedance is basically a complex quantity which can be represented using this formula, that is Z is equal to R plus Jx, where R is the resistance due to the resistive element and X is the reactance, that is opposition due to the inductive and capacitive elements. So calculus to algebra transformation. Now the time domain current can simply be written as the instantaneous current is equal to Im cos omega t plus phi. The wave format of this equation is simply represented like this. Now this equation can be represented in phasor format. So as per Euler's identity, e raised to power j omega t plus phi is simply cos omega t plus phi plus j sin omega t plus phi. So from here, the current, which is Im cos omega t plus phi, is simply the real part of Im into e raised to power j omega t plus phi. Now this e raised to power j omega t plus phi can be segregated into two parts, that is e raised to power j phi and e raised to power j omega t. Now in this equation, this entity is a constant part and is simply represented by I, which is the phasor of current, and e raised to power j omega t is written as it is. So therefore I is simply Im e raised to power j phi, and this is the phasor of the current. So applying derivative property to this current it, we get d by dt of real part of I e raised to power j omega t. I is constant, so it comes out. So d by dt of e raised to power j omega t is simply j omega e raised to power j omega t. So the original phasor, which was I, after differentiation it becomes I into j omega. So therefore the differentiated phasor becomes j omega into I. So therefore d by dt results in j omega in phasor domain, and similarly you can obtain for integration, that is integration of dt becomes 1 by j omega in phasor domain. So let's derive impedance formula for a resistor. In a resistive element, V is equal to IR, and in phasor form this will be V is equal to IR, where V is the phasor of voltage and I is the phasor of current. So comparing it with formula V equal to IZ, Z comes out to be R. So therefore for a resistive element, the impedance is purely real. Voltage and current are in phase and the phase angle is 0. That means that both waves are in same phase, and the corresponding phasor, the current phasor, which is in the blue color, is in same phase with the voltage phasor, which is in red color. So let's move on to impedance of an inductor. The time domain relation in an inductor is V is equal to L di by dt. In phasor format, V becomes voltage phasor, d by dt of I becomes j omega I, and L is written as it is. From here, comparing it with V equal to IZ formula, Z comes out to be j omega L. Therefore, the impedance in case of inductor is simply j omega L, where omega L is called as inductive reactance. And inductive reactance is represented by XL, which is simply equal to omega L. So omega is simply 2 pi f. Therefore, XL is simply 2 pi FL. So if frequency increases, the reactance also increases. And the next property is that the voltage leads the current by 90 degree, which can be seen by this wave here. Voltage leads, or the current is lagging the voltage wave by 90 degree, and this can be seen in the phasor as well. Here the current phasor is lagging the voltage phasor by 90 degree. So it can also be said in the way that voltage phasor is leading the current phasor by 90 degree. Now impedance of a capacitor. For a capacitor, the basic formula is I is equal to C dV by dt. So dV by dt is simply equal to j omega V. So replacing it, the current phasor becomes equal to j omega C V, where V is the voltage phasor. Rearranging, we get V is equal to 1 by j omega C into I. Now comparing it with the formula V equal to IZ, Z comes out to be 1 by j omega C. Here, if j is moved to the numerator, it can also be written as minus j by omega C. Here 1 by omega C is simply the capacitive reactance, which is represented by XC. So the properties are the current leads the voltage by 90 degree, which can be seen from here. The current wave is leading the voltage wave by 90 degree, And also in phasor format, the current phasor is leading the voltage phasor by 90 degrees. Since omega is 2 pi f, so xc becomes equal to 1 by 2 pi fc. So if frequency increases, the reactance decreases. Now to summarize all the impedances, so for a resistive circuit, the impedance is simply equal to R. For an inductive circuit, the impedance is equal to j omega L and the reactance is equal to omega L. And for a capacitive circuit, impedance is equal to 1 by j omega c, where 1 by omega c is the capacitive reactance. XL is equal to omega is L is the inductive reactance which increases with frequency and blocks high frequencies, and 1 by omega c is the capacitive reactance XC which decreases with frequency and blocks the low frequencies. The general impedance form for an RLC circuit is simply Z is equal to the total resistance and reactance, that is R plus j omega L plus 1 by j omega c. It is simply equal to R plus j omega L minus j by omega c, and it can be simply written as R plus j XL minus XC. So XL minus XC can be simply written as capital X, and on taking the magnitude, mod of Z becomes equal to under root of R square plus X square, where the phase angle can be easily obtained with the help of this formula, that theta is equal to tangent inverse of x by r. And finally, the Phasors Ohm's law. In AC circuit, Ohm's law simply states that V equal to Iz, where V is the voltage phasor, I is the current phasor, and Z is the total impedance. So this allows the AC circuit to be solved in algebraic format instead of differential equations.